I was watching some old WCW the other week, and it was the angle where Dusty Rhodes...
So you're the one.
I know, it's me, all the time. Thunder, Nitro. But it was when Dusty Rhodes joined the NWO, and he came out and he had the cool jacket on and all that kind of stuff. And when he joined, it just felt like this could be great because he was really into it, but it didn't really seem to go anywhere. Did you guys have a hand in kind of pushing for that to happen, and why did it not go any further?
I remember that being my idea. I think I was working, against Larry Zbyszko, who had left the broadcast booth and gotten involved with a match with me against Lex Luger or something. And so now it's going to be me versus Larry. And I had this kid, Louis Spicoli, out there with me, and it was me and him versus Larry. And we started double teaming Larry. And I pitched this to Dusty before I ever mentioned it to the office. And Dusty left the broadcast position, came to the ring, and everybody, I was backing up, and then he dropped that big elbow on Zbyszko and peeled the flannel shirt off, and he was NWO. And I felt really happy to do something cool for Dusty, because at that time they were looking at him like he's a relic. Like, yeah, he was really good, but, he got too old. And I remember thinking, no, man, being cool doesn't expire. There's no expiration date on being smart. But the very next night on Nitro, and when you give the American Dream a live mic, he does not disappoint. And the first thing he said was, ain't gonna be no comeback. Ain't gonna be no comeback. He was just making a one-time statement. Occasionally he would accompany me to the ring, like manage me, but only if I'm winning. If I'm doing a job, he says, yon, kid, I'll be back here,
And Kevin, one of the things that gets brought up a lot by fans, and it's probably going to make you shake your head when I bring it up, is the finger poke of doom. And I know Goldberg was pretty annoyed that coming out of it, he didn't get the big win over the NWO. When you look back on the finger poke of doom, do you think people make too much of a big deal out of it, or what's your kind of memory of it now, 20 years later?
Well, just the fact that we're still talking about it tells me that it was effective to some degree. Nobody's talking about the drop toe death move. I mean, it's just, the thing is, it got everybody.
Do you think, because that was the night where
they said it killed they said it killed the business. They said it killed WCW, and I've said this a million times. So many people that watch wrestling live in a wrestling bubble, and what killed WCW was the fact that Turner sold to Time Warner, Time Warner sold to AOL, AOL was a .com. There was this thing in 2003 called the .com crash. AOL stock was worth nothing. Not only did they sell WCW, they sold the Atlanta Braves, the Atlanta Hawks. They sold everything that wasn't bolted down. It had nothing to do with the finger poke of doom. Everybody switched when they said ahead of time that Mick Foley was going over. Like 1 million viewers switched that didn't even see the finger poke of doom. So it's all those people that just absolutely love me and want to put some blame on me, and I got big wide shoulders and I can take it, because you know what? That finger poke of doom looks real sweet when I'm drinking coffee and looking out at the beach every morning.
You were also at one point on the WCW booking committee, and that's kind of like a thankless job, I guess, that no matter what you do, you're going to get blamed for the bad stuff and never credited for the good stuff. But from your time in doing that, was there an angle or a storyline that you remember pitching or being quite heavily involved with that you're proud of?
At that point, the Titanic had already hit the iceberg. I was just trying to get the guy with the cello to keep playing. That's a shoot. I did try to get Pam Anderson to come in and hit me with a Frankensteiner.
She didn't go for it?
Nah, see, it's good comedy. I keep going back to her.